Welcome back, guys, to another Strikers Media podcast. It's a safe place for us to express our opinions of what's going on in today's world, and different outlooks of overall life. So let's start off with, we have Rashan here on this right-hand side. We got Leo, we got G-Buzz, and we got Big Moosh, a.k.a. Raffi.
Say Raffi.
Or Raffi.
Thanks now.
In the last podcast, we talked about various things, mostly women, right? And we left off a very interesting one. One of them was, here, let me look at it real quick. It was, should men be on child support if they want nothing to do with the child? So I know some people have mixed opinions. I see Raffi already over here.
I'm laughing at Leo because I don't Leo he started laughing.
But overall, I mean, there has been instances where a guy literally tells a girl, look, if you have this baby, I'm not going to be there for the baby type thing. And, women still decide to have the baby. I don't know if I could get different people's opinions. What do you guys think? Should they still have to pay child support? Should they still be there?
Short answer for me, I'll start it off. He's already, so look at him. He's already smiling.
Oh, no.
Short answer for me, I don't think a guy should get out of his baby's life. If you want to get out of the baby's life, perfect. You pay child support. If you want to be in the baby's life, you co-parent, you don't pay child support. But you made a decision with a woman to have a child, right? One led to another. Obviously, you guys made mistakes. There's no way that she got pregnant.
By herself,
yeah. Unless she lied to you about something of, hey, I got an IUD or whatever it is. Like, I punched a hole in the condom. It's a different story. But if you guys both knowingly had unprotected bamboozling and you guys just did it and she got pregnant, as a man, either you take care of the child with her or you pay child support.
Even if you told her, like, look, even if you have this baby, I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to help you out, whatever it is. I'm moving the country type thing.
Absolutely. I mean, if you leave the country, that's a different story.
Leave the state. Maybe not the country.
Make a joke about you, but okay, no. I love you.
He didn't mean that, bro. He didn't mean that. Raffi, don't let it happen again. All right, Rashan, what do you think, man? I saw you over here shaking your head.
Me personally, I feel like if a woman is choosing to have sex with a man and she knows off the rip that he's not trying to be part of her life, then she shouldn't have that baby.
How does she know that off the rip?
Huh?
What if she doesn't know that off the rip?
Well, if you're romantically involved with someone, you should know some type of personality about the person, especially if you're dating. You should know what their wants, what their goals are.
And what if the whole time you guys are together, you guys are thinking like we're gonna be together forever. He's just not ready for a baby at that time. He freaks out and runs.
Again, if a woman is having sex with a guy and she knows what that guy's goals are, what the situation is, and what he wants to do in his outlook on life, she shouldn't have that guy's baby knowing that he doesn't want to have a child. She shouldn't have his child, because now you have a guy that's not going to be romantically involved, not going to be helping to raise that kid, and you deal with that dilemma of what we already have now in the world. A lot of people out here, or just men out here, without fathers, and daughters without their father figure. And I feel that it's important for a man to raise a woman, or a woman or a man, because you have a different outlook and you get different feedbacks from your parents, co-parenting.
You're straying off topic though. The question is, if a guy gets out of the life, he says, I don't want to be in this baby's life. You're saying, should a man pay for child support if he doesn't want the baby? You're saying no.
Yes, because he shouldn't be put on child support. That woman shouldn't have had his kid in the first place.
Someone might make the argument though that, let's say, due to religion, they kind of have to have that baby.
If your religion is something that you're basing you having a child in this world without their father, you shouldn't have been having sexual relations with that guy. Women
one I will agree with.
Women need to be better at choosing their partners, especially in this day and age in dating. And
it could be a one-night stand too.
If you're having a one-night stand with a guy and you're a woman, you have the choice to not have that kid. The smart choice is to not have that man's child. You don't know that man. You don't know what he's capable of. You don't know his personality. You don't know his family. Why would you make a child come into this world without a father, when, as you can see, that's like one of the most important things growing up. A lot of these guys, the guy might be a piece of shit, but in that same breath, a woman is raising a boy, or a daughter that needs some type of guidance from the other sex to know how to move and navigate through the world. A lot of times you see a lot of kids that are growing up without their dad. They get into gangbanging, they get into drugs, they get into things because they don't have no guidance from a mature man, or just, you know, someone who can help them guide and not go through a path that leads down destruction. Because, you know, I feel like growing up with my father was important. I saw one side of the world with my mom, and then my dad gave me another side of the world that was more strict. My mom was more soft. My mom was more loving and caring, and she taught me, you know, how to be that way. But growing up with my dad, it allowed me to see a different look. Like, hey, it's not easy for a man in this world. A woman can't show you how it's not easy for a man in the world. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I don't agree with the woman even trying to put a man on child support, because at the end of the day, yes, it's everybody's responsibility, but women hold more of that power in that right, because they are the one that bear the child. And so if you're a woman, you have more of the responsibility on your end to not have that kid be born and, you know, obviously deal with the consequences of how that child is going to be dealing with you dating with a different man that's not his father, you know, seeing men coming in and out the house, just stuff like that. And that all affects children.
Okay. I mean,
See, someone can make the argument now that, yeah, you're right. Maybe the woman has more of a... no, not that you're right. Maybe you're right. The woman has more of a choice on whether that baby is born or not, right? But then you're letting the guy go scot-free. He made the same mistake she made. They both made that mistake. It's just that now if he doesn't want the baby and she does, guess what? She's still going to get pregnant for 9 months. She's still going to carry the baby, have the baby. Like you did to me a second ago. Hold on. So she's still going to have the baby. And what's going to happen now is the guy is just going to be living scot-free, nothing. And she's going to still have to raise a child or put him up for adoption, which is going to break her heart too, because she raised the child, or she carried the child for 9 months. Right?
In that same breath of that woman choosing to have that child, she should have made a better choice. Whether it's the man that she was choosing to have sex with and choosing to have sex with that man and then still bear that man's child, knowing that he's not a responsible adult. It just doesn't make sense to do that when you have the power and you have the will. Because if you make that choice, you become like a selfish person. It's like, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna have sex when I want. I'm gonna be out here doing anything just like the man, doing what he wants, have sex when he want. But at the end of the day, we don't bear children. We don't bring children into this world. Yes, we help, but we don't bring them into the world. And so a woman allowing a man to have sex with her and then saying, I'm gonna have his kid, knowing that this is the type of guy he is, and he doesn't want to be part of that child's life. And then ultimately down the road, you put that man, a burden on that man for a child he never wanted, whether the situation, it just doesn't make sense. You have a man that might have some resentment toward that child, never wants nothing to do with that child. And now you have that child being raised knowing that his dad feels some type of way about it. Well, not have a good relationship, not having a good relationship with the mother.
You're just describing the consequences if the man's not in the life, and the woman should have thought of that beforehand. At the end of the day, they both had that child. At the end of the day, they both made that decision. They both had unprotected sex.
There's no decision being made by the man.
We're gonna have sex without a condom, and I'm gonna come inside you.
Yes, and then like I said, in that same breath, women bear more of that responsibility because they are the one that bring children. Yes, we help, but
their consequence is, one, bearing the child for 9 months, and two, now raising the child with or without the man. Right. So then, why is the man able to just have his pleasure that night? Make an irresponsible choice, because as a man, you're not a man if you do that.
Because the woman opened her legs to that man,
and the man was there to put something in between.
You're saying it like if a man, just didn't have a choice.
No, it's not that the man didn't have a choice. It's that the woman have access to sex, right? She allowed a man she either doesn't know, a man that wasn't ready for a child because she's dating him, and women should know that before, because having a child is a responsibility.
Yeah, but I feel like
it's a responsibility of both people. If say like, I would give it to women putting men on child support. No, I'm not going like that. I would give it to women putting men on child support if they were involved in that children's life, and let's say like you were married and you guys had a happy home and the man cheated and now he's divorced and then he has another family. Then I will agree with that man, because he went outside of their marriage and did other things and had another family. And now it's like, okay, now I thought we were going to have a life together. And now my kid's 6, 7 years old, and now we're divorced, and now I got to raise this kid by myself. You see what I'm saying? That makes more sense because there was a plan. When there's no plan, I don't think women should be out here having just anybody's kid, because you see the downfall in society as far as gangs, drugs, not
You're
having
saying
no
what they
guidance.
shouldn't do, not
No.
what should happen if they somehow do. If she was not trying to get pregnant, she had sex with someone. She wasn't trying to get pregnant. At the end of the day, that kid is also that man's kid. It's his seed. It's his DNA.
I'm not deflecting from it. A man having sex with a child that is a responsibility, but I'm putting the burden on women because it's a woman's choice. I'm for women having the choice to choose or not to have a kid. I'm not saying that like, hey, women shouldn't be having abortions. I agree to some extent that women should have the choice to birth people's kids, but in that same breath, that's why I'm like, it's a man's responsibility. But the man, if you know that man's not a responsible person, why would you have his kid? Why would you give a guy who's out there gangbanging and doing drugs?
You're taking a small substrata of the full spectrum to make that argument.
Well, someone else. You said yes, so you've been smiling
a lot. I want to hear what you have to say.
What
you've been
do you
smiling, looking at Rashan like you want to give him a kiss. So let's hear what
you guys already have my view of what I said.
So like honestly, like if the guy just has sex with a girl, nuts in her, and then fucking just pretty much leaves, I think he should be able to pay some child support.
Here's how I see things. I mean, one of the main points you're making is, they weren't like ready or, responsible enough. But let's be honest, a lot of kids are made without them even thinking of them having a kid, right? And at the end of the day, they still raise them together as parents, and they're still a happy family. You learn as you go, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like this is basically me personally. As a man, if I have a kid, no matter if I don't even like this girl or whatever it is, I know that's my seed. At the end of the day, I'm going to take care of that kid, child support or not. I wouldn't want something that is basically part of me to be going through trials or whatever it is because I wasn't there. So I'm still going to be there.
I'm speaking for the men that don't take that responsibility. Obviously, I know if I made a mistake and I had sex with a woman that I didn't know and she had a kid and I just didn't want to be with her, but I know that I had a kid, obviously I would know that, hey, I have to help raise this kid. Now, if I'm just, again, I'm not denying the fact that the guys are shit or there's piece of shit guys, but at the same time, women know who they're messing around with, whether it's a one-night stand. Why would women just have one-night stands?
Let me give you an example.
Wait, let me finish. Why would women just be out here having a one-night stand with a man that they know that they're not going to be with?
Well, the plan is not to have a kid. The plan is to enjoy it.
The plan is not to have a kid. But
that one I'll agree on. The one-night stand, I agree with you on.
Did that woman say, hey, put on a condom?
Even if you have a condom, you can still have a kid.
No, if the man didn't have, there's the chances are reduced significantly.
Yeah, but it's still possible.
It's possible with the condom off. And so 100%, either guaranteed or not guaranteed that, hey, if a woman is going to the bar having a one-night stand with a guy and she goes home and has sex with him and doesn't know his name and she chooses to have the kid, who is bearing that responsibility?
Yeah, that's a different story. That I agree with 100%.
Okay, but no, in that same breath, and then she finds out who the guy is and who the dad is, and he's like, oh, like, this is your son. I remember you. We had sex. This is your son. What is that supposed to? I'm gonna put you on child support. Then he goes to court, especially in California. You go to court, he's gonna lose that battle, and now he does not know. That kid doesn't want nothing to do with that kid. Never plan on having a kid. I just knocked up some girl at the club. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Now that girl has a kid that she's raising in this world without a father, and now she has to bring men in her life that have to try to bear that responsibility of that other man's child. And then that just creates more things down the fact. When I was growing up, I didn't really have to deal with those type of things. Even though my parents were separated, I had one stepdad and my dad had one girlfriend. That was it. It was never like different women. I never saw multiple men. Nowadays, you have people at 21. The daddy got two different baby daddies. Mm. I had first a quick little story sidebar. I had a friend who had a girlfriend and he had a kid with her. Thought it was his kid, whatever. Raised a kid. The kid's like 3 years old. He ended up having another kid. The mom ends up trying to break up with him and put him on child support. He has a 3-year-old and now a 1.5, like maybe 2-year-old. He finds out while the mom's putting him on child support that those two kids have different dads and that's not his kids.
Damn.
Both of them are not his kids?
Both of them are not his kids.
That's crazy.
That's a wild
So imagine, again, that woman's responsibility messing around.
She don't even know who the baby daddy is.
Don't even know who the baby daddies are. She knows she's been with him, so she think it's his. And she brought those two kids in the world, don't know who their dad. Now those kids got to grow up without knowing who their dad is, and they thought that this man was their dad.
See, but
that's just a special situation. But this is something that happens a lot. This is something that people don't know. You think this is like a one-off thing? My friend just having.
I know 3 people that same exact thing.
But in that same breath, women like her are the reason why there's a lot of people out here don't know who their dads are.
Yeah, of course. But we're
And-
not talking about that. That's a small part
Yeah,
of
but
it.
we're talking about the responsibility of women having a man's child because they had sex with them and then putting them on child support. I don't think it's right in that regard. If you know a man's not ready, you know the man's not responsible, he ain't got his shit together, it just doesn't make sense. And so, yes, it's two people to make the kid, but at the same breath, I feel like women bear that responsibility. Every man is not as honest as us. If we knock somebody up and it's like, I'm gonna help her take care of the kid, she don't even have to worry about putting me on child support. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But see, like in the sister, the example you brought up, he was trying to be in the kid's life. She ended it, and then she's the one that was sleeping around, right? He was trying to be a man, trying to be there. So no, I don't think he deserves to be on child support at all. Minus the fact that they're not his kids. Now, talk about, let's say, a relationship where there are two people together. They've been together for 2, 3, 5 years. Let's just say, right? They're not married. They're not nothing. They have sex regularly, right? And they think they're going to be together forever. At least that's what she thinks, right? And they've been together for that long. And the guy's been playing with her, not proposing to her, nothing, but they think they're going to be together forever. She has a child. It's his child. Let's just say there's no factor of maybe it's not his kid. She has a child. It's his child. They both made the mistake, and now he wants out.
Okay.
Why should he not answer this question? Not should he pay? Why should he not pay child support if he was in that relationship for 5 years and all of a sudden that happens? Talking about kids in the future, talking about our life in the future. Just because he's not ready.
Why would she even suggest child support if that was his goal? That doesn't make sense.
Because he all of a sudden wants to not be part of the kid's life.
Okay, but then what was that? If she
didn't know better. She's been thinking this whole time they're together because this happens. This is probably
there's
the most.
no way you date somebody for 5 years and you have no idea what their goal is.
Believe it or not, that's
No.
actually the most common situation.
That's
That is
not.
the most common situation.
You have to show me a stat. That's not something that happens. Nobody's dating someone for 5, 6 years.
What do you think? Where do you think most cases of that come from?
Nobody dates anybody for 5,
answer
6
that question,
years
answer that
and
question.
makes
Where
a
does-
mistake.
where does-
You're
where
just
does-
making that scenario up. That's not a real scenario.
That's the most common way it happens. Someone has a kid. They're together. They're dating. Let's just say, forget the 5 years. Let's say it's 6
That's
months.
not.
Let's say it's 6 months. They're together. They're dating. They don't
6
think
months
they're-
is
6 months is nothing, bro.
6
To have
months.
a baby?
6 months. It makes more sense for her to be bearing the responsibility of not having a man that she knows 6 months kid.
But they're in a relationship.
It doesn't matter.
6 months is a lot of time.
A woman doesn't know the man that she's giving a kid to.
I still feel like at the end of the day, it's a man's responsibility to raise that child.
Having sex, a woman, again, the woman is opening her legs. She bears the responsibility to sex. So in that same breath, she's allowing a man she's known for 6 months to have his kid. She doesn't know this man. It doesn't make sense. And if the man somehow rises up and the kid is born, he doesn't want to be part of it. That's her fault for doing it. And it's like, I'm not saying it's more of her fault. It's both of their fault because they were reckless. But in that same breath, women have control of that. And I feel like women should be held responsible for the men that they choose, for the guys that they tend to try to have a relationship with, and then not have an idea of what that man's goal is as far as a family. And that's why we have a society today that's downgrading. You have women that are running through men left and right, running up their body count, and it's just like, oh, I have his kid, and then the dad is not even trying to be part of her life. They don't have a relationship.
Yeah. I mean, I get that too. You're pretty quiet.
Yeah, I was trying to talk earlier, but I lost my train of thought.
Go ahead.
He cut me off.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. What do you think? Again, women are running
You
up
had a
their
kid
body.
before. I'm just kidding.
Women are running up the body count. They're opening their legs to any type of man, and then choosing to have their kid. And
No,
it's like,
that's-
oh, well,
that-
you had a kid with me. It's your responsibility.
That's where I agree with you because I mean, if a woman just open up their legs, and if they're gonna have a kid, you don't want
I don't
the
like when you guys say that.
what?
Open up their legs. Like, you guys make it.
Okay,
you guys give it
whatever.
such a negative connotation.
It
They're
scares
gonna have
him.
sex with the guy.
He doesn't see that often. It scares him.
It's good to have a negative connotation to something that.
It's negatively connotated.
Yeah.
All right, but let's let Jibas talk. Go ahead, Jibas. My fault.
We agree on something at least.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Rashan just because I mean the dad could not be financially stable. He could be a game maker. You don't even know that guy. For example, you said a one night stand. Why would you keep a baby that you had with the one night stand? You don't even know the guy. You're gonna put the kid. Let's say you put the dad in child support, whatever. The kid's gonna grow up without a dad. It's gonna mess him up mentally, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
Well, yeah. So why would you want that for that kid? Why would the girl want that for that kid?
And most
Which is
women,
true.
and most women, I feel like they do that out of spite to get back at a guy.
In that case, that specific case, I agree with you guys on. But I feel like the thing is I feel like we're going back and forth on this. You can't really put a one size fits all answer on it because there's so many different ways.
I wasn't putting a one size fit. I was saying that
you definitively said
ultimately. No. I said yeah. I mean,
he's pro-choice.
Yeah, women bear more of the responsibility than men. Like, I'm not saying men are not responsible, but I feel like women have more of the responsibility because one, they open their legs, they allow the guy. Then they date. Then they date the guy, and then they choose to have his kid. A lot of women want to be pro-choice. I want to have the choice. That's a whole nother topic. But again, that's a responsibility as well. Just choosing to bring a life into this world is not done by yourself, but ultimately, in the end, you are the end result. You know,
what if that's the one that wants to have the kid?
Huh?
What if the dad's the one?
Okay,
that
and
wants
that's where
story.
And that's where again the choice comes in. You have a lot of women that do stuff out of spite, and then on that same regard, you might have a man that wants to start a family. He's been dating this girl for years, and she doesn't want to have kids. And when she gets pregnant, she wants to abort it. Now, who's in the right in that?
Exactly.
Yeah, there's that argument too. If she
they-
has that choice to keep him and deprive him of that, then why should she have the choice? Yeah, I get that argument too.
And it goes both ways, and that's why I was talking about the body count, running up the body count. Women are nowadays are just dating anybody, and
I mean, what's it called? I guess I have a different perspective because I kind of was raised like a single child in a sense, and
like your mom or your dad?
By my mom, but I feel like it didn't really affect me now. Maybe it's something I don't see.
Trust me, it did.
It affected you entirely just because I remember how I would ask questions, and then me and a friend of ours, Al, we had to talk. Like, we can tell just from like how you guys interact with us that we know that your dad was in your life.
God damn.
You see, that's like a big tell. If someone who doesn't really know like your personal, right? Mm-hmm. And then I meet you and I can be like, man, you don't have your dad in your life, huh? Just because of your interaction with women, just the way you talk to like other guys, how your social interaction
Same thing with girls too.
There's a big pickup on how I was raised with almost both of my parents. I live with my dad longer, but I have like I can tell like when a guy doesn't have like their dad in their life. It's like how they challenge like situations or like when they're confronted with something, how they deal with it like emotionally.
God damn, I did not know that.
Women tend to be more soft, like you were saying. Women tend to be like more problem solve and like just rationally talk it out. Men are typically more tough. So like when you're faced with confrontation, if I don't know you and you kind of shy away from confrontation, I'm not saying get into a fight with someone, but you don't really speak up or like defend yourself or speak for yourself. You could tell that you probably A, didn't have your dad in your life, or B, I don't know.
You just didn't, or not even that you didn't have your dad. It's that you didn't have like a strong like male figure in your life.
Father figure.
It's like because you can have like an uncle. You can have an uncle that like taught you a lot on your mom's side. But even then, a lot of times I can still tell because you probably weren't around that person that I could pick up like people that don't have their dad in their life. And so that's why I said that's like a big thing in our society right now, where we're on a decline, where women are just running through men,
popping babies,
and having kids left and right, don't know who the dad is. Same situation. And this is something that's recent. It's like within the last like 6 years, my boy this happened to, and you have these situations that are rising. And I was like, look at our society, how it's going on a decline. You have all these things going on in the world where nobody has respect for each other. Nobody wants to take responsibility, and you have guys not taking responsibility for the things they're doing. Because again, if you have a man that's been raised without their father, how would they be taught those things? So you have a man that's having sex with a woman that doesn't know about taking responsibility for his action, knowing that he has consequences, having another kid by mistake with another woman because, again,
you probably didn't have a dad.
Me growing up, I made it like my thing. I always saw like never to have a baby mama. I never had sex with a woman that I never could like maybe imagine myself obviously having a family with. So that always stuck with me because my dad would always tell me when I was a kid, hey man, don't be coming out, don't be having no babies out here. Don't be just out here running around having babies, you're gonna find out. And so I always felt that like in my heart. I was like, man, and then I would see it when I got older.
Find out.
I would see when I got older and I started, working and stuff. I would see people go through these issues with their wives and all this stuff. And I was like, man, there's no way that I'm gonna be out here trying to knock up a random chick that I do not know. And
Fact.
Me and her don't get along, and then I gotta raise a kid with her. Like that for me is like out. I'm not gonna ever do that. And
but see, that's another thing. It's like if you're raised by a father, you have a father figure in your life. They teach you these things. If they don't,
and my dad has done those things,
and it becomes a chain down the line. let's say you weren't raised by, you're a different story because you're just scared of women in general. But let's say you were, let's say you,
No, I'm not.
let's
I'm
say
not.
you weren't raised by your father, right?
Uh-huh.
He doesn't teach you, hey, you got to be careful who you out here messing around with, what you're doing. He doesn't teach you any of that stuff. You're gonna go around and start doing the same thing that your dad did that is now not in your life, you know? And then your son's gonna be the same thing because you're gonna walk out. Then he's gonna do the same, his son's gonna do the same thing because he walked out.
And
And
then
it's gonna be a
just a-
chain and a constant, it's snowball just.
And then
What is it called? What is it called? A family, not family curse, but like what's that? Generational curse, basically.
Yeah, and I also feel like just in dating in general that a lot of the times you would feel like you would see that your relationships don't work with like certain women because you lack that thing that you would get from a man because you were raised by a woman, and so you have more of like that, you know, you try to be sweet and all this other stuff, but then you don't have what it is a man has. Not saying that you're not a man, but like what a man has that he's been taught by his father. So he has like that different like charisma or like, you know, just persona because he's been raised by his father compared to a man raised by women. And that's why you see, again, that's why I feel like in this society, you have a lot of women that are choosing just the wrong men. And there's no responsibility being bared on the women. A lot of women try to talk about men not being shit and they need to be put on child support and all this stuff. But I feel like that's just counterproductive to like trying to have a successful family. You know, like everybody's goal in the world should try to be with a man that they know they're going to work out with and try to have a family so that you don't run into the issues of these men growing up, not bearing a responsibility and knowing how to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like we've been going on a little tangent. So
We got everybody's agreement basically.
Yeah, I feel
So-
like I don't have an opinion just because I
How do
never
you
went
not
through,
have an opinion?
just because I had both parents. I've never went through no child support thing. I've never even seen anybody in my family even have kids without like.
He does
But
like he's
like,
not
You
in that
still
realm.
have,
He
you can
does-
still have an opinion.
Yeah, so
Neither have
I mean, but how
neither
do
has he.
you feel like your life would be different if you didn't have your dad?
100%. 100%.
And then what if you were just raised by your dad? Do you think you'd be a different person if it was just
Yeah.
your dad?
I feel like my mom, like, she's like very sweet. So she taught me like how to just be like loving, caring from like a young age. She's always been like, I feel like I'm more
Like
close to her. You know what I'm saying? And then my dad, he was just always tough on me, just always like
And it builds character.
strict. You know what I mean? Making sure I had all my bullshit lined up and everything. So that's why I feel like if I was missing one of them, I would be a totally different person, honestly.
okay,
yeah, but see, that's that's a big aspect, and then yeah.
All right,
that's
you
very
brought
important.
up an interesting point. You kept saying something, running up the body counts, running up the body counts.
Nobody
I gotta ask,
Opening their
man.
legs, that
yeah,
scares
opening the
Santos so
legs. You know, it's. So I have a question for you. I mean, does body count matter? Would you date a girl with a lot of body count? What do you mean by running up the body count? Like, is that
Running
so
up the-
bad?
Running up the body count means just women that are out here not having a goal as far as the man that they're trying to decide to be with. You know.
Okay.
It's like a freedom thing. Women, you know,
Is it bad?
they have access to do whatever they want. You know, for the most part, I feel like women they have it easy, and so if you're running up the body count, I feel like it depends on the age.
Okay.
For the age, if you're someone who's 29, you tell me you've been with like 30 men. I might question it, but I'd rather not know, like, why you've been through 30 men, you know? Like, 30 men, you're 29, you know, if you're the same age as me, but 30 guys, I'd rather not know. I mean, I feel like I've been with, you know, a good amount of women, but it was for different reasons. Like, if you can explain the reason to me and it makes sense, I'm like, okay, that makes sense, you know? Women go through their phases just like we go through our phases, and there's nothing wrong with dating to see, you know, what works for you. Now, if you're just dating out here to do whatever and just have whatever you want, then that's different. I don't know. It's kind of like teeters because you could be 21 if you have like 40 bodies on you.
Damn. At 21?
Your name's
Yeah.
Riley Reid.
That's a crazy one.
I will look at you less as someone that is like ideal, and then if you tell me if you got like 20 or 15 bodies and you're the same age as me, he's like 29. Like, oh, I've been with like 20 people, 30 people, because then you can say, hey, I maybe dated around.
She paced herself.
Yeah, she paced herself. She maybe had her fun. She maybe went on like a little thing. Maybe dated like every 3 months, a different guy. Had like maybe a couple one-offs, and then you know you do that for a couple years, and you know you're just kind of like focusing on yourself in that same regardless, she's probably in school, she's probably trying to get her life together, and then she just meeting guys here and there, and then she maybe had like a couple serious relationships, and then nothing just fell through, maybe with the guy, or just like she was just fell out of it. And so that makes more sense than just being like, hey, I'm 23 and I got 50 dudes on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because then that means you're like going through at least 5 guys a month for like
you're saying
years.
like it matters on
Age.
how and when she got that body count.
Yeah, I feel like there needs to be a backstory, because again, if you're
Imagine girls came with like a Carfax of like
if you're running through that many guys at a young age, it just doesn't, it shows like, again, you're messing with your like how does that girl get attached to the next man if she's been with that many men? How does a man who really likes her take her serious?
Does she compare you to like any of the people she's been with?
I feel like women wouldn't compare unless they're like around the girls, like of like the guys they date. But it's like, how would she form any attachment to you if you're just the next guy?
What if she has like a 25 years old, she got like a 40 body count. At 28, she starts dating, and like in the 3 years that from 25 to 28, she didn't touch nobody because she's like, I want to settle down now. She hasn't touched nobody.
That goes back to what he was saying.
That's what I'm trying to see.
What was the question again? I was trying to process all that right there.
Let's say at 25, she gets up to 40 body count. Let's just say, right? And then for 3 years, she don't touch nobody. And now she's 28. She's still at 40. But the last time she touched someone was like 3 years ago. Last time she had sex with anybody. Is that going to bug you?
I feel like she would have matured. I feel like she matured.
That's kind of what I was
she had
here,
she had a breakthrough, and she matured, and
age.
now she's looking for something serious.
Leo, what about you? What do you think?
I mean, I've met girls that, when he says like running up the body count, I've met girls who are literally just looking for a guy for that just night. You know what I'm saying? So, like what he was saying, they're just running it up.
Have you been that guy?
Back to Rashan, bro. Get your own opinion.
So the reason why he refers back to me and him go out a lot. So he refers to like a lot of our experiences.
Is he your father figure?
No, I don't know why, bro. I'm just pretty high right now.
No, he's not.
He's not. High off life.
Scrap the whole podcast right there. Just scrap it right there.
Yeah, but would you guys want to know, or you guys rather like not know?
No, I don't want to. I definitely want to know.
You don't want to know?
You can't be with someone unless you know these things. Like,
Jeebus, you'd want to know?
I can't not know anything about your
100%.
past, you know?
Rashan, you'd want to know?
I feel like I wouldn't want to know, but then I would know if I knew, it wouldn't make a difference. I feel like I'm secure in the person that I'm choosing to date, and so even if she had like 10 or 15 bodies, it wouldn't matter. It would just be like, okay, well, I'm with you now, and I see a different side of you. I don't get those vibes, of like you like wanting something more. Yeah. Because I feel like I would pick up on that right away.
I'm not saying I would like ask her, but I'm saying like if I did know. Yeah, I'd want to know, but I wouldn't really like go deep.
I feel like a girl wouldn't tell you unless you really ask.
No, actually, be surprised. I feel like girls bring that up more. I feel like girls care more about body count than guys do, in my opinion.
As far as men?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Because I've been
How many
asked
girls?
that. I like put it this way. I don't really ask girls that I'm talking to, oh, what's your body count? But I've been asked that by almost every single girl. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Okay. I've been asked that by almost every single girl.
A guy's expected to be higher. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, yes or no? A guy's expected to be higher than a girl.
Not really. No.
Am I tripping?
I feel like it could go both ways.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a specific. He's like, no way, really? All the books I read said.
I saw that documentary.
Honestly,
Oh man.
I feel like girls get chosen up more than guys, so it's like more temptation. They should
Think
be
about it like
able
this:
to-
every guy, if a guy has a 40 body count, that means he's been with 40 girls. That means those 40 girls have been with that guy, right? And it goes both ways. If a girl has a 40 body count, that means she's been with 40 guys. Each of the guys has that +1 body count.
Yeah, I get that, but I just feel
Balances
like
out.
girls try to be a little bit more reserved. Not every girl, but most girls.
you mean like they should be more reserved? Not that
No,
they,
I'm not saying they should do whatever you want, but I'm saying like I feel like girls are more like, oh, society thinks this and this and that. So versus us, it's like, damn, he's a playboy. Damn, dab you up. You did this. You did that. Whereas
So like the
girls, it's more shamed upon.
double standard. So then
that's what I'm saying.
So then if it's shamed upon, then that means that women should be more reserved.
Sure, but I'm saying that's why it's expected for a guy to have a higher body count.
Yeah, but
because
he's got to get that body count from girls.
I understand that. Yeah, you're right.
So and that's what I'm saying. And that same breath, like society looks at that women should be more reserved. They shouldn't be running up the bodies. You see what I'm saying?
I feel like I feel like what you're getting at isn't that guys should have a higher body count. I feel like what it is that girls either have a low body count or a pretty high body count. It's not like average like guys. Guys will have anywhere from like 1-0 up to like 15, 20, 30. This guy probably like 85 now, but
What the fuck? No, that
it
ain't
just
me.
depends. I'm just saying, like, I feel like girls will either have a super low body count or a super high body count. And like, there's obviously gonna be some stragglers in between. But if you look like an actual histogram of like the body counts, you're gonna see two peaks in the low end on the high end. And that's just what I think.
Okay.
So do you think that you would want a girl with a lower body count?
Personally, I don't care because like that's not on my mind when I meet a girl. Like if I'm meeting a girl and I'm going on dates with them, that's the last thing on my mind is how many people she's been with. I'm first trying to see like who you are as a person now, get my opinion of you now, and then once I know you and I feel your vibe and I know what you're like, then we can figure out what your history was. Does that make sense?
Would you ever question a girl of how many bodies she's had?
She tells me she got like 400 bodies, and we're like, damn, like what are you like a work at the cemetery? Like I don't understand. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, but
that's a different story.
Would
but-
that deter you from dating her?
No, because again, I wouldn't get into that questioning until down the line. And by that time, if I'm still talking to you to the point where we get to that question and I actually have to think about it or like hear that answer,
So in the same breath, he's basically saying he would date anything.
Yeah.
that's not true.
So if
You
the
just
girl's
said it
cool,
doesn't matter.
If the girl's cool, the girl's nice. She has a great personality.
it's not a
but she
defining
got
factor.
300, right?
No.
At
We're gonna
the
run
age
it-
of
run it
25,
back.
No.
then it doesn't matter.
I literally just said if she says 400, I'm asking if she works at the morgue. It's a different story.
Okay,
So I'm
she has
saying
100.
100 is still pretty wild too. Like
25.
That's up there for a guy. 25 is more reasonable, and I feel like at 25, I'd be like, it's not a determining factor for me. If I like you and we're cool, I'm gonna see what you are now. Like if you have matured from that point till now, then I'm cool. But
So
if
then
like
it
if your
does
last
matter.
body was last week, no.
So then it does matter. You said it doesn't matter.
I'm saying it's not a determining factor. I didn't say it doesn't matter. I said it's not a determining.
We're gonna
factor.
run this back, and I think you said
Run it back because I think I tried to correct him
matter. I think so
earlier,
too. I
but he
think so
spoke
too.
over me. So we'll run it back. I got the SD cards. We got both. I got you on 1, 2, and the audio, so we're good.
No, I mean,
Does
I feel
it-
like I feel like it is a determining factor. I'm not saying damn it has to be super low, but I would hate to come across like go to the liquor store or something. My friend, oh yeah, I hit that, something like that. Especially in the valley.
How much is too much for you?
How much is too much? I mean, depends on the age,
Oh, so wait.
So let's say you're.
Going back to that.
bro.
So,
Because we're the valley, bro. You know that.
Everybody knows everybody.
Your girl goes to the Shirley Go, it's game over.
so how do you feel about?
Really go.
Would you date a girl that mess with
would
one of
never
your
date a girl.
homies?
No, I would not. If I would not date a girl, for example, that's been with Leo. Fuck
Why?
no.
What the fuck?
Why?
Because that's like,
Bro, what are you trying to say?
I get what you're saying.
I'm not throwing it at Leo. I mean, like,
the
overall, like,
homie.
no
I gotta
one,
date
you know
a
what I mean?
girl that's been with
Okay.
the homie is what he's saying.
maybe,
It's just the way
you
he
know,
said that
let's get it
was
back.
so
Okay.
targeted.
Maybe because I thought like Leo and I are the closest in a way.
So
I'm like,
why
you know,
wouldn't you date a girl that's dated one of your close friends or your homies?
bro? Because it's not right for me. It's not right now. What makes it not right is
But-
just knowing.
Dated or
wait,
slept with?
Wait, she likes you and you like her. Why would you not date her?
Bro, the homie, bro. I just feel like
Is that like an insecurity?
I wouldn't say it's insecurity. It's just I wouldn't.
Is it respecting?
I just wouldn't. I wouldn't like knowing in the back of my head, knowing that, she messed around with the
So that
homie.
sounds like an insecurity. You'll be bothered by it.
I guess I would be bothered by it. But I wouldn't call it insecurity though. It's just
That's an insecurity that it's affecting your emotions because
I just
feel that,
wouldn't like-
people will challenge like, oh, like man, everybody's had his girl.
Bro, you haven't heard the song Top
Because
Top
what,
Top for the whole crew?
because what is in the back of your head? You're thinking about like,
like
the
when I
next
see the
man she
homie,
dated.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah, you're thinking about the next man that she
So what you're
dated.
saying
So
is
that's an insecurity.
you're worried about being around someone that she's been with, right?
Yeah, that's
It's
an
in the back of
insecurity.
your head.
That's an
No, I feel like
insecurity.
That's insecure. That's what I was gonna say.
I feel like it could be awkward too. Like if we're on the same place.
No, it shouldn't be awkward if you guys are
it-
both
it could-
men.
it could
ready,
get
ready,
awkward.
Rashan? What is it? Emotional men.
Honestly, if that's an insecurity, because especially if it's distance between the time they've been dating, if Leo was dating someone and then in 4 years I dated them.
But I feel like out of
it wouldn't
respect,
bother me.
I still wouldn't date his
Out of
girl.
respect
Like,
for Leo?
Honestly,
yeah.
I'm
If
gonna
that's the homie?
agree with Santos on this one, bro.
What the
for
hell?
Sure.
If y'all ended on bad, if let's say Leo dated her,
It
and he
doesn't
dated her
matter
4
how
years
they
later,
ended. I'm still not gonna go after his
If
girl.
they're cool, it's not
the
his
hell?
girl no more.
Yeah,
It don't
It's not
matter.
his-
It's out of
And
respect.
she's not the
true.
same person
That's
she
not
was
his
4
girl.
years ago.
But
Like,
there's like so many other girls, bro.
Yeah,
There's
like,
a reason
why am I gonna choose up
left
on this
her,
girl?
And then homie's just gonna just jump.
Just
and then like I
doesn't
also
make
Make his
sense.
leftovers, bro.
And then
Come
also,
on.
bro, if just say it was me, right? If he got with my ex, I would be like, bro, why the fuck are you like even like following her? Type shit. Shit.
Pause real quick. Why would you even care that your ex is dating him?
yeah.
What do you mean?
It's a
That's
downgrade.
weird.
Santos?
No, wait.
What?
Why would you? Why
Why
would
you
you
talking shit? The biggest
Why
downgrade
would
is
you care that your ex is dating him 4 years later?
You know what? No, I wouldn't care. No, I wouldn't care to
Look at
who
him
she's
backtrack.
dating.
Look at that backtrack.
But
Oh,
if
that's
it's
crazy.
if it's my boy, you know what I mean? Like Santos
You
is like
guys
my
are
boy.
showing how insecure you are. Why?
I'll put it this
Again,
way.
I'm gonna ask the question again. Why would you care that your ex is dating him?
Because I don't know how to answer, but it would just be like,
But
what the
I
fuck?
expect
That's someone that you're not with anymore, and it's
Yeah.
been 4
But
years
hear me
later.
out, as a
Why would you
homie, I
care?
expect you not to pursue someone I dated.
If it's 4
Why are you
years,
gonna-
if it's 4 years, that's not the same person he dated.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're 30 going to 35 or 20 going to 24. You're not the same person.
Okay.
It's a lot of time. Now, if he broke up with her last week and 2 months later you're with her, that's a different story. She's
That's
still the same
scummy.
person. Yeah, that's scummy.
Yeah, because their relationship could have had, like, say, like Raffi dated someone, and the relationship was good for a while. You met her, you knew every, like, nonchalantly, and you're like, hey, what's up, girl, whatever. But then, like, at 4 years, she's like single. You guys work close by, and you guys start getting closer, and then you guys be like, hey, like, we should date. And then you're like, oh, you think Raffi would be bothered? It's like, why would Raffi being his ex have a problem with me?
No, I don't know. What do you think?
It wouldn't bug me.
I don't know.
it just doesn't sound right to me.
Because again, if that's your boy, they're talking about close friends.
How you gonna say, I don't know.
No,
Give
well,
it-
like me, I
say something.
I mean, no, me. No.
Wait, let me
You
finish.
start talking, bro.
Let me finish. So that's what I'm saying. Like, he should be like, you know what?
I hate
We didn't
Rashan.
have a good thing, but maybe you guys might have a good thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's an insecurity behind what you guys are saying because you guys are bothered by the thought of, oh, this was Raffi's dude. If your boy is confident enough to even date your girl, that just shows how he's not insecure.
What are
He's
you
not
worried about is the
yeah,
question.
he's not
What are you
worried
worried
about
about?
anything. He's like, oh, this is so and so. She's
just-
doing great now. Me and her linked
I feel like
up
it depends how long they
in
were
another
together
city
for.
I
or
feel like
something.
if it was a girl I dated and we ended on good terms, just like, hey, like, we're not working out. You're still a great person. We're cool, and we break it off. 2 years later, you come to me and say, hey, I met this girl. I think you used to date. I'm gonna be like, yeah, she was great. Honestly, like, I could probably see you guys together, or maybe like, oh, maybe I don't see you guys together, but check it out, see what's going on.
Yeah, if she was
But
crazy
me
and everybody
dating-
knows her, then maybe that's
a
one
different story.
thing.
Yeah, that's a different story. But if it's like we were cool, we just didn't work out. We weren't meant for each other. It's a different story.
But I mean, if you were cool initially, like everybody was cool from the get go, right? Most likely not. For example, let's say Leo, I hanged out with this girl type thing. You know what I
Hanged
mean? Oh,
Hung out.
Hung out.
hung out.
See, if you had a father figure, that would never happen.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Bro, yo.
Speak right, boy.
All right, let's say hung out, right? It's just we were all together at the same place, like this and this and that. Like, no, that's not possible. I don't know. What do you think?
Just say you're an insecure man.
Sure.
Bro,
Okay, as long as we agree upon something, you know.
if it's one of my close homies, bro, I feel like I'll be like, what the fuck? But if it's someone like,
What are you
that's my
doing?
friend, but they're not
Like an
like in my
acquaintance?
inner circle type, then I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
But if it's like freaking Jesus, I'll be like, dog, what the hell's good with you? If
Okay,
it's
no,
like
yeah, you
Santos,
see-
it's
okay.
you,
Hold on,
with Raffi,
hold on.
That is
Ask him the question again.
What was the question? No. I feel like like let's say it was us in a circle. Let's say you were with your girl for like 5 years, bro, and I knew her and everything, bro. I wouldn't pursue that. Like how Leo said, there's many girls out there, but why would I pursue that same girl that he was with? I seen how she is, and I know she might have changed a few years later, but I mean, it's still the same girl. That was his
It's
ex.
not
and
the same girl.
bro. It is.
What changed?
Also,
I
out of
mean, maybe her
respect.
Over
personality a
time,
little
people
bit-
grow. Over
People
time,
don't
people grow.
change, bro.
And then it's like, hey, the attraction that she can be the person that, hey, I was never even attracted to you back then, but she saw you like 4 years down the line, she's attracted to you now.
That's what I'm saying.
usually how it happens.
4
Because
billion girls out there, you're gonna go back with his ex.
it's a familiar thing.
It's 4 billion girls out there. 95% of them don't live anywhere near you. You're not around you.
And let's say for your example, it's like, hey, you're saying she dated that girl, they broke up, whatever. That girl was never attracted to you. His girl was never attracted to you because she was with Leo. She never saw you like that. But let's say like, hey,
Hold on, what did you just pull out?
What Where'd you pull that out from, bro?
I was Baltimore.
Just there the whole time.
Let's say, like, again, you look different now. You lose weight. She see you, whatever. You're probably, you know, you got money.
I am going to the gym.
You know, she's seeing you look different, and you know, she's like, "Wow, I never saw you like that back then, but I'm attracted to you now." And then you guys start talking. And you're like, "Hey, well, I never saw you like that either, because you were my boy's girl." And I was like, "Oh, you're just a homie." But now I see like you look good. You know, how you doing?
If I'm not close to her anymore, then maybe. But
Yeah,
if
but
I'm so
see,
close with them,
okay,
then not.
so that goes back to my question. Well, for you, why does it matter? That's your ex. Why do you care about your ex? Because if you care about your ex that much, that means you're with the next girl and you care about your ex still.
Yeah, that's another thing. Because now you can't get into another relationship because you still hung up on her.
You're still hung up on her. So it's like if you're with your girl.
Well, you're asking me if I would date his ex.
Yeah, but imagine.
Oh, if he dated my, I don't give a fuck.
No. What? You're lying. Because look, you're with your girl that you are now, right?
Okay.
Let's say like just hypotheticals. You're with the girl, and you're with. Let's say like you got with a new girl, and Santos dated such and such. Why would you care? Why would you care about him dating your ex when you have a new girl? Why is your mind?
I wouldn't.
Wait, why? I'm just saying.
Oh.
Wait, you agreed with them though. You said you would care.
I wouldn't do it to them.
No,
If
you said you would care about them dating your ex. That's the whole. That's the whole question.
No, he said
I
you wouldn't date their ex.
I wouldn't date their ex.
Yes,
Just out of
why?
respect, just because.
What's the respect? How is that disrespectful?
Yeah, that's.
I don't know. I feel like it'd be weird. I mean, they even said it themselves, bro.
How
Like, he
you're not
even said-
answering the question? How would it be weird? How would it be disrespectful? Why would it bother you to date one of their exes? Answer the question.
I don't know, bro.
Just say it. Just say, "Hey, man, I'm an
We're gonna
insecure
end it on
man."
that because just
I'm not
insecure
insecure.
men. We're
Yeah.
pretty much out of time.
Yeah.
Insecure.
You're just agreeing with Rashan.
secure-ish? No, I'm the same way. I don't
Secure-ish.
care. I'm the same way. I don't care. If I dated someone, you guys want to date him, I'll give you my ex's number. Go give him a call.
I ain't
don't care.
tripping because that would never happen
Like-
to me. Just letting y'all know. I ain't tripping.
I'm gonna need that number after the podcast, bro.
That's cool. That's cool. I'll give it to you. I don't mind. That's the thing because I really don't care. At the end of the day, it's someone that I was with.
Wait.
Yeah,
You really don't care?
dude.
What
I
happened
don't
last
want to
week?
bring it up. I literally just thought of that, but I don't want to bring it up.
Yeah, let's not bring it up. Let's not bring it up.
Exactly, bro. This guy. You're making it for the cameras, brother. You're not doing it. Yeah,
I'm saying
the most
I'm not
insecure
talking
guy, bro.
about, you know what, bro? Like,
He
they're
gets
not-
insecure about
I'm
girls that
talking
even
general
is.
terms, and they're going to specifics. I'm not talking about specifics. In general.
Hey, let's end
Bro,
it
but
there,
that's
bro.
something you did.
100%.
He's capping.
If y'all want to know, drop a like,
Insecure
comment.
If you guys want to know what
Biggest
happened and want to know
insecure.
what they're talking about, go ahead and drop a comment.
'Cause I wasn't saying that, huh?
We'll make
Biggest
something happen about that, okay?
We'll
All
talk
right,
about
guys,
that.
well,
So with that being said, we are
Another
another out of time.
podcast,
bro.
Another
So-
Strikers Media podcast. Thank you guys for all showing up.
Let's do the
right?
outro one more time because I was talking, you were talking, he was talking, he was.
All right, go ahead.
I don't know. You want to go?
Kill it up. Yeah, kill it.
Well, thank you for tuning in to Strikers Media Podcast. I appreciate you guys. We all appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next time, okay?